Everyone, it's Ellie Mae, and I want to share a couple projects that I've been working on. I am using these adhesive rhinestone sheets from Heat Transfer Warehouse, and I made a total of 7 different projects out of this sheet alone, and I think I need to order more. I have a few more ideas that I want to do, but I first measured all of my blanks that I could. I even measured this acrylic makeup case. I made some templates, but this acrylic case was not the average shape, so I just ended up kind of eyeballing it and measuring. And then I have a little thing here. What I noticed when I was measuring this out is I got a couple rulers out and was measuring my inches, and my rulers didn't match up. So you'll see here that I was verifying that. But I proceeded, if you have rulers that don't match, just make sure that you're always using the same ruler each time for the project you're working on so that everything can line up the same. But in this case, I just took a box knife and started cutting after I used one ruler to measure. And then I'm just going to add this to my acrylic makeup brush holder. You could call it all kinds of things. I did order this one off Amazon. The links are in the description below. And this video is actually, it was recorded at Timelapse at 4 times the speed, and then I've actually increased that another 4 times. So originally the entire clips were 24 minutes long, and I have shortened it by, this is now like 8 times the speed. So I really wish I could work this fast, but I can't. But I wanted to share the process with you in case you wanted to. So some of these were more difficult than others. This one was pretty easy, and I even had one little section there that I needed to add a section to. But once I got that on there, you couldn't even tell that I had to piece it together. And then I cut templates with my Silhouette Cameo cutting machine, and I'll have a link in the description below that shows the video where I did that. And then I used those templates to help me draw onto the rhinestone sheet adhesive. It has a protective cover on both the front and the back, so you can use a Sharpie on one side. And then I blinged out my light switch cover for my craft studio, and then just applied it. Now the hardest part about these adhesive sheets is sometimes getting the backing off. But if you just keep going, keep trying, you know it'll come off eventually. You can do that. And then I just continued with each and every project that I had, and I have all of those linked in the description below. This is just to show you that you can create with a lot of different things. Here is the business card holder up close. And most of this was already in my craft stash, but I'll link where I found the same products. And then a little movie magic here. Another look. And it was just fun to create and to see what I could bling out with these adhesive sheets. Now in the photo in the end, you're going to also see that I used a phone charger. It turned out beautiful, but then someone commented that you shouldn't do that, so I ended up taking it off and I added a different project in. So with this one sheet of adhesive rhinestones, I was able to get 7 different projects out of it. Now the pen is probably one of my favorites, and my daughter also claimed that too. So I'll be ordering another sheet so I can do a few more projects with it. And it was pretty easy to cut, even in a sort of semicircle. And then even though the circle didn't quite be a circle, it had some flat edges on it. I'm just trying to get that backing off. I can then go in and just fill in some of those rhinestone areas that I needed to, and it worked out great. Once that adhesive dries and seals or cures onto your product, you can't even tell. Now this was probably the most challenging. This is the one that took me the most time to actually complete. It is just a Scotch tape dispenser, and I just wanted to rhinestone that out. Now I didn't quite, and I'm going to test it. I might have enough pieces to piece this all together, but it didn't quite cover everything. I thought I was just going to do the sides, the front, and the back. But after I got to looking at it, and you'll see the finished photo here in just a second, I think I'm going to go back in and completely cover the top where it's not going to interfere with the tape that I have in the dispenser. So I'm just showing the process here. I cut off as big a chunks as I could because then I could reuse those to fill in the gaps. This was not a straight-sided product. As you can see, my corners don't meet up quite right, so I just had to kind of piece in some rhinestones to fill in the holes, but it worked out great. Even just using 1 or 2 rhinestones at a time, I was able to manage to fill all that in. And I just kept working my way around and trying to make it all look even. Now, at this point in the project, I was kind of thinking to myself that maybe I should have called myself the crazy craft lady, because I don't know, should I have done this? It was fun. I will use it. It'll be in my studio. It's for nobody else but me. So I used up my scraps. I went away with very few scraps left, and I will see if I can piece the rest of it together. But at the moment, I'm going to call this one a project half done, just because I think I'm going to have to order another sheet in order to finish it out, and I will do that with my next order to Heat Transfer Warehouse. So I have all of that in there, put my heat tape in there, and you'll see that phone charger in there. I did take that off afterwards, and I just stuck it to my water bottle, which is where it continues to live. But all of them turned out great. The pen, I have to say, is my favorite. But after I started looking at this photo, I was like, I think the top needs to be done. So I'd love to hear your comments if you think it needs to be done, but I think I'll be ordering another sheet and doing that. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing just a little bit of what I've been working on and maybe spark a few creative thoughts in your process. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining me.